What's up guys, Mickle here, and in this video we're going to talk about something that is definitely scaring a lot of people in the XRP community right now, and that is the IMF's new Universal Monetary Unit. What this is a new technology the IMF is using for cross-border payments to send money around the world. In this video, we're going to talk about whether or not the IMF is trying to replace Ripple and XRP, because there are a lot of people scared that right now the IMF is working to displace Ripple and make XRP not a critical part of our future financial system. In this video, we're going to talk about that. I'm going to tell you whether or not I think that is possible, or people are completely misunderstanding what's happening here. I also want to talk about some serious pushback Gary Gensler and the SEC are getting, not only from Congress, but the SEC themselves. We have two pretty big announcements to go over. They just happened the other day, and it's going to show that the SEC is getting a lot more pushback than many people think. Like always, your support means so much to this channel. Make sure if you haven't already, you like this video and subscribe to my channel. It's going to help me out so much. Also, if you guys ever need a good place to buy some XRP or the Flare token, make sure to check out my favorite exchange Uphold down in the description of this video. With that said though, let's jump right into it, and I hope you guys enjoy the content. So before we jump into the video, I quickly wanted to shout this out because this is absolutely awesome. Today was the second ever Flare drop, where essentially Flare holders who are wrapping their tokens and delegating them are essentially getting airdrops monthly. Today was the second one ever, and these airdrops continue to blow my mind with how big they are. If you guys are not getting these airdrops, I highly suggest you figure out how to wrap your Flare tokens. And if you don't have any Flare tokens, if you're just hearing about the project, I highly suggest you watch a video, learn about the network, and if you want a good place to buy Flare tokens, I have a link for Uphold down in the description of this video. Now, what I am doing is I am wrapping my tokens, collecting my rewards, rewrapping them, and also buying more Flare on Uphold. That way, I have as much Flare as possible in these early stages of the Flare drop, so my rewards will continue to compound in the years to come. Just telling you guys what I do. If you need a link, there's one for Uphold down in the description. It's where I buy my Flare. But anyway, let's jump back to the video. And if you got this Flare drop today, congratulations. I'm sure you're pretty happy with it. So I want to start this video off and just go over some quick pushback that the SEC is getting right now, because a lot of people make it sound like, oh, the SEC is doing a good job. The only people who are complaining are XRP holders and some other crypto projects who are getting sued. Well, take a look at this. This is directly from an SEC commissioner, Commissioner Hester Peirce. This is not coming from John D, and this is not coming from someone in the XRP community. This is coming from one of the commissioners of the SEC. Today's commission tells entrepreneurs trying to do new things in our market to come in and register. When entrepreneurs find out they cannot, the commission dismisses the possibility of making practical adjustments to our regulatory framework to help the entrepreneurs register, and instead rewards their good faith with an enforcement action. Today's commission treats the notice and comment rulemaking process not as a conversation, but a threat. So guys, this is not speculation. This is not members of the XRP community coming out and saying, oh, the SEC has been so hostile. This is an SEC commissioner telling us exactly what we've been saying for the last 2 years. There is no way to come in and register with the SEC. You cannot be a cryptocurrency company and comply in the United States. And if you go in and talk to Gary Gensler like he tells you to, you're going to find out you can't register, but not only that, you're also going to get sued. What the SEC is doing is they're saying, come in and register, come in and talk. When you come in and talk, when you come in and register, they say, oh, thanks for the information. This will help us sue you. This is exactly what's happening. Now, John Deaton and people like Jeremy Hogan have been saying this for years now, but most people simply dismissed it. Most people said, oh, that's not necessarily true. There's tokens who have registered. No one has registered successfully and ran a successful project afterwards. And what we have right here is the SEC literally admitting that that is exactly what happens. We no longer have to speculate on why these cryptocurrency companies can't come in and register. We no longer have to speculate whether or not Gary Gensler is being truthful when he says, hey, if you come in, we'll figure it out. We have the SEC Commissioner Hester Peirce literally telling us it's impossible. If you come in and talk to us, we're going to sue you. More than anything, this really just shows the state of cryptocurrencies in the US right now. It is impossible to be a company doing the right thing. In the eyes of the SEC, everyone is breaking the law. It doesn't matter how compliant you're trying to be. It doesn't matter if you are looking out for customers. It doesn't matter if you are doing everything in your ability to be as transparent as possible. If you run a cryptocurrency company in the US, according to Gary Gensler, it is impossible for you to register, and there is no way you can ever be compliant with our securities laws. Now, if you listen to everything I just said and are thinking to yourself, wow, that is completely absurd. I cannot believe that's happening. Well, first of all, I completely agree with you. I cannot believe this is the current state of the United States. But there are people fighting on the right side of this. Warren Davidson, who I really do think is one of the good guys fighting against the SEC and for cryptocurrency, is putting out a new bill to actually remove Gary Gensler from the SEC and actually get rid of the role of a lead commissioner. Now, I think this is a brilliant idea because we have seen every single commissioner on both sides of the aisle abuse their power at the SEC. Now, whether or not I think this bill is going to pass, unfortunately, I'm kind of skeptical of it. I don't know if this only has to pass Congress or it has to pass the Senate as well. It would be absolutely amazing if we could remove Gary Gensler, and I think a lot of Democrats would actually vote for it as well. We'll have to see how this plays out, but it is good to see that it's not just us fighting this battle. We see other SEC commissioners coming out and saying, no, we're being completely absurd. And now we see congressmen coming out and saying, look, this guy has been so bad, we're going to try to remove him. We need to make sure as a cryptocurrency community, whether we are voting red or blue, we vote for people who are going to fight for this industry. Not like people like Gary Gensler, not like people like Elizabeth Warren, and not like the old people on the right who can't even wrap their head around what's happening here. We need a younger generation, regardless of any other political views, a younger generation who understands the technology and are going to let this change move forward, let us update our financial system, and stop protecting the incumbents. So I want to finish this video off and talk about the UMU, the Universal Monetary Unit recently launched by the IMF. Now, essentially, this is supposed to be some form of currency that different countries can use to transact value. A lot of people out there are very worried this is going to replace XRP and Ripple is going to become obsolete. I want to break down why that is not the case, and let me just say, Lord Vendetta, take a look at this thread. This thing was absolutely outstanding. Now, I'm not going to go through this entire thing. I don't even think it would be fair to him if I did. But if you want to read this, make sure to check him out on Twitter. His handle is literally LordVXRP. This thread is fantastic. I'm just going to show you guys the parts that I think are the most important. Now, the first thing to note is, and he is spot on right here, every single time we see a new technology, a new unit, a new stablecoin, a new cryptocurrency, a new CBDC, everyone freaks out and says, oh, it's going to replace XRP. Oh, it's going to replace Ripple. And every single time it doesn't. Ripple and XRP are uniquely positioned to transform the financial system. If I am being completely honest, out of every single crypto project I've seen, I actually see the least competition for Ripple and XRP. Some of the most competition I see is in smart contract layer ones, things trying to fight Ethereum. But when it comes down to technology looking to disrupt payments, when it comes down to technology looking to disrupt the plumbing to our financial system, there's really not many options out there, and Ripple and XRP have a massive lead. So I want to share with you the things that I thought were the most important, and the first obvious one is Ripple is already working with the IMF and BIS. It's not like Ripple is some massive competitor to these organizations. We constantly see Brad Garlinghouse sitting down in meetings with people like Christine Lagarde and all the other central bankers. There is a reason Brad Garlinghouse and Ripple get to speak with these people. It's because they are already part of the plan. So that's the first thing we need to understand. It's not like the IMF and the BIS are trying to topple Ripple. It's not like they're trying to take them down. They are working together because Ripple is clearly part of this club that is looking to completely redo our financial system. Ripple would not be in these meetings if they were a massive competitor. Ripple is in these meetings because they are part of the plan, and I cannot stress that enough. I have literally seen Christine Lagarde, who is one of the people who is really running the show here, mention Ripple by name in one of her speeches. That does not happen to anyone else out there. Ripple is clearly in a special position in this entire transformation. But that's not even the most important part. What I think is the most important part is fundamentally how this is going to work. The UMU is just value. It's a way to transact value. It's like a CBDC. It's like an NFT. It's like a tokenized anything. All it really is a unit of accounting. At the end of the day, this UMU can run on the XRP ledger. It can interoperate with the XRP ledger. There is absolutely no reason to think this would be a replacement. What I think it shows is the financial system we're moving towards. It shows that we really do need to upgrade a lot of these technologies, and there is a reason Ripple and XRP are constantly coming up with this group of people. They would not be associating with it if it was some massive competition. But the fact of the matter is, it is more clear than ever that Ripple is part of the plan to launch products like this. And if you want to think about it in its most simplest form, just understand, when the internet itself was first created, the government launched websites. The government launched a whole bunch of different projects on the internet, and the internet actually started with the government. But the private sector still played a massive part. There were still the Googles, there were still the Amazons, and there were still so many different companies that created business models that we could never even think about back then. What you need to understand is the IMF is not creating a decentralized ledger. They are not creating a payment protocol. What they have is a centralized unit of accounting that will probably get used in the future, but it's not XRP and it's not doing what Ripple is doing. I think the biggest thing we need to take away from this is there are going to be a lot of big innovations over the next 10 to 15 years. But Ripple has a massive head start. They're doing something unique, and they're doing something extremely special. Ripple is not some competition to these people. Ripple is part of the plan, and XRP, in no doubt, is going to be part of the new financial system. I think it's just a matter of time. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for coming. I hope you enjoyed this update. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe. It really does mean so much. And for now, Mickle out.